Hey everyone, Ryan here at eTrailer. Today on our 2024 GMC Canyon, we're going to be checking out the Demco Dominator Tow Bar. A tow bar is going to be one of the 5 main parts that you're going to need to flat tow your vehicle down the road. The other 4 will be your base plate, your safety cables, your tow bar wiring, and your supplemental braking system. And when it comes to picking out a tow bar, it's a pretty important decision because one being, it's going to be the connection point that holds the front of your vehicle to the back of your motorhome. So you want something that you can rely on. And also because it's what you're primarily going to be handling whenever you're unhooking and setting everything up. So you want something that's easy to use, right? And with the Dominator here, it's definitely more of a premier type tow bar. It has quite a few things going for it that should kind of check both of those boxes, you know, being reliable and easy to use, things like that. So as far as how this is going to pull your vehicle down the road, I feel like it should do a pretty good job. And I say that partly because it's a long tow bar. And generally speaking, the more distance you have between your towed vehicle and the motorhome, the better. It'll just help it ride more true and straight whenever you're going down the road. And it'll be a lot more responsive when you go to make those tight turns. The tow bar is going to have a 7,500 pound weight capacity, which is definitely up there. And I feel like because of that too, it should help absorb some of that road shock a little bit better when you hit a pothole or something like that. And even with it being heavy duty, one of the really nice things about it is the fact that it's really lightweight. And that's because the majority of the tow bar is made from aluminum, so it's going to be a lot easier to handle, you know, a little bit easier on your back when you're bent over, getting everything hooked up. The way you would set everything up, it's real simple. You just have a pin and clip here, and that's really all there is to it. With that said, this particular tow bar is going to be compatible with Blue Ox as well as Curt base plates. But if you happen to have a different type of base plate, chances are really good that there will be an adapter available that you can pick up, allowing you to swap the ends out and let it match up with the current base plate that you have on your vehicle. Something that I always recommend when it comes to tow bars, and this is going to hold true whether you go with this one or a different one, is to try to find one that has a non-binding feature, which this one has. Because it just makes life a lot easier. Because what can happen whenever you're flat towing, you get to where you're going and you try to unhook. If the arms are extended and locked into place, a lot of times it can be real difficult to get the ends separated because they're in a bind. So if that were to happen with this one, all you're going to have to do is push these tabs here. That'll release that tension and make it easy to get unhooked. Something to pay attention to if you end up going with this one is whenever you set your tow bar up, you're always going to want these tabs on the inside, all right, like we have it here today, because if you have them the other way around and you make a super wide turn or something like that, you can damage these little tabs up here at the front. So good habit to get into, and you know, make sure that if you find yourself in a super tight situation where you have to make that turn, you're not going to have to worry about hurting the tow bar. You do get some extras with the tow bar, one of them being this little rod here that's on the side of the arm. What that's for is to act as a cable management system. So you can see we got our electrical cable kind of sitting on that rod. That way it'll be up off the ground and looks a little bit better too, kind of a cleaner appearance. So if you end up going with a tow bar that has this type of system, make sure that you get the coiled type electrical cable. That way you can properly utilize it. And this tow bar is also going to come included with safety cables. So one less thing that you're going to have to worry about picking up separately. And also, excuse me, built into the tow bar is a drop or rise shank. Comes in that drop position, which the vast majority of the time, that's what you're going to end up needing, right? So set up a lot of these flat tows here, and almost every single one of them requires a high-low adapter, which is this piece here. And a lot of times by using, you know, the one that's built into the tow bar, you could potentially not have to worry about using an additional high-low adapter at all if needed. So a lot of times that'll solve that problem. In our case, we're also using a high-low adapter because by using this and with our tow bar, it sets it perfectly where we want it. Tow bar is exactly level. So let's say if we didn't have this built-in drop here, you'd have to get a whole new high-low adapter to correct that issue. And this is one that our neighbor here today already had, so saved a little energy for sure. But something to think about though, if you end up needing an additional high-low adapter, you may have to get some safety cable extensions because with that extra length there, ours fell a little bit short, you know, and to be on the safe side, I use these extensions just to give us a little more slack in the cables. To compare this tow bar to some of the other ones out there, eTrailer makes some that are very similar, that are more of a economical option. So if that's what you're looking for, you can always check those out. And then Roadmaster makes a tow bar called the Nighthawk. That's also made pretty much from all aluminum, more of a premier type tow bar for sure, and kind of in the same category as this one. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I kind of prefer the Nighthawk over this. I just like the feel of it better, and the looks of it too, which I think is important. So got a bunch of them to choose from, and they're all nice and they'll definitely get the job done. You can stow the tow bar on the back of your coach, either temporarily or permanently if you want to. And there's several different ways you can do it. You can take both arms and put them on either side. Or if it were me and I was getting ready, you know, maybe just hanging out for a few days or something, you can store it like this too. I feel like it's just a little bit easier when you go to hook everything back up. Now with that in mind, especially if you plan on keeping this back here permanently, I do like to recommend picking up a locking hitch pin. That way it'll be secured to your motorhome's hitch, and also a bag or a cover just to help keep the weather and the elements off of it, keep it in better shape. But other than that, at the end of the day, you know, a nice tow bar, it's going to work with quite a few different base plates. It's lightweight and easy to use, so you really can't ask for too much more. And that'll finish up our look at of the Demco Dominator Tow Bar on our 2024 GMC Canyon.